You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into high school preview number 16, this time with Coach Freeman at Southside. Christian, what's going on, Coach?
Just glad to be here. Appreciate you guys doing this and just give us an opportunity to talk about our team.
Yeah, no doubt. Excited to have you back on. Two-time defending state champs. Looking for that 3 here. So we kind of hop into it. Talk about last year, things you learned, experiences along the way.
Yeah. Last year was definitely a little different championship experience than the year before. Year before we're 28-5 and pretty much cruised the whole year. And I think last year we struggled out of the gate, had some injuries, were 3-7 at one point, and I think kind of fell off the radar and then started getting healthy, made a few lineup changes, started getting more confident, started winning toward the end of the year, and just got hot at the right time and played really well in the playoffs against some quality teams. So definitely a different experience, but a lot of fun to come back and win it a second time in a row.
Yeah, and you obviously started off with a very difficult preseason tournament, and
Right.
and just kind of having you talk about one of those injuries, having a guy go down, that would have made a big difference in that one. But let's speaking of returners, let's talk about some returners you're looking forward to leading your program to making another run of this one this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all starts with our seniors. We've got 9 seniors this year. 2 big arms coming back on the mound in George Massengill and Nelson Vaughn. Colby Centel is he's battled injuries the last couple of years, but when he's healthy, he's as good as anybody we have. He played center most of the year last year. He's also spent some time on the mound, good left-handed bat with some power. We've got several other seniors in Cole Tarango, Cole Matthews, Matthew Mills, and then we've got several that hopefully can have a little bit more of an impact this year. Levi Bowles and Braden Shelley are both middle infielders for us. So, excited about all of those guys back. And then, we've got a handful of juniors that are coming back as well. Got 2 junior catchers behind the plate, Tyler Bowman and Will Coffin, both of which we have a lot of confidence in. 3 other juniors, Cole Atkins and Will Coffin's twin brother, Matt, who's an outfielder, will have some time for us as well. And then another junior that we're really excited about had a great fall, Mikey Hatinsky, played JV last year, but has an opportunity this year to really have an impact. Of course, sophomore Carson Bowman, committed to Wake Forest, left-handed pitcher, solid bat in the middle part of our lineup. And then we've got 2 freshmen who actually started on the state championship team last year as 8th graders in Reeves Israel and Jacob Wiggs. And so a lot of seniors, they'll lead us, but a lot of good young underclassmen that we're excited about, which makes the future really bright for the Sabres as well.
Yeah, no doubt. You've obviously got a lot of talent coming back from that squad last year. And you add Bowman in, which you didn't have last year. What about some newcomers that you kind of think might have an impact on this year's team?
Yeah. Well, I think just having those 2 9th graders that for the whole year, both of those guys, I mean, they watched down at Optera at the preseason tournament. They were in the bleachers watching as just JV guys who were there as fans. And fast forward to Lakeview, and they're both starting. And so excited to see them in a full season. Obviously glad to get Carson back. He was able to hit in the playoffs, which did have a huge impact on our lineup. He just makes everybody else around him better, but getting him back on the mound this year will be huge. And then, as I mentioned, just those sophomores becoming juniors and stepping up, and then some of the seniors who may not have contributed as much last year, hopefully can have more of an impact this year.
Yeah, so obviously you got that. Sorry, I had to hit the mute button. I was on that one. So obviously you got, you talk about the 9 seniors and the bunch of the underclassmen, a lot of those newcomers, those young guys that you were probably wanting to pull some hairs out at some point in time last year when they were young guys, but you get that good experience rolling in this year. What are some expectations you guys have as a program with all those guys returning, coming back for this upcoming spring?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Barron said it. I think I watched his interview. We won't mention the Richburg Rocket in this one, but every time we start a season, the goal is to finish it with a championship, and so I think that's our goal. Obviously a three-peat would be great, but you start thinking in terms of that and not taking care of the little things that it takes to win just each game individually, and you'll find yourself in trouble real quick. So just working hard, getting better every day, really, building toward the preseason tournament. You mentioned, we had a tough time there last year, faced really good competition. In a weak moment during the off season, I said yes again to going back, but I think we're in a much better position this year to go and compete. And so excited about that, facing some really good teams. We've challenged ourselves with the schedule that we've created. So I think just getting better each game, and not thinking about the end of the year, but just working game to game to get better.
It might take a Rocket Night tour across the state of South Carolina.
Bring it on.
The fact that you don't have to face the Richburg Rocket makes your job as a coach a lot easier. And I can only imagine the pitchers and your catchers, even though you got some talent and experience, they don't have to worry about controlling the running game when the Rocket's on the base path.
That's right.
Coach, my last question here. You talked about going back to Optera and loading that schedule up, but what games or game tournaments are you most looking forward to on that schedule?
Yeah, Optera is exciting. We get to play Blythewood, Wren, and Lexington, and then a fourth team that will be good as well. So, right out of the gate, that's tough. Our region is always tough with St. Joe's and Christchurch. We play Hillcrest twice, non-region, so playing a 5A team. We're in a spring break tournament over at Duncan Park, where we'll play Clinton, who's defending 3A state champion, and Landrum, and then a third team in that. And then we get 2 opportunities, one to play a region game at Floor Field this year. And then we're actually playing North Cobb Christian, who is defending 2A champion in Georgia at Truist Park in April. So Friday night game in Atlanta at Truist Park. I can't wait. And I know our guys are excited about it as well. So
that's going to be big time. Get down there. Probably going to get about, 30,000 fans in the stadium?
Yeah. 30,000 stadium with a few hundred in it might be interesting, but being on that field and that dugout will be a cool experience for our guys.
Yeah, and I'm assuming probably like most high schools in this state, that's probably the what everybody grows up pulling for, the Braves. So that'll be awesome for those guys. So
that's right.
It'll be exciting. We're fired up for the high school season. I know you are. So we definitely appreciate you hopping on and joining us today. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck. And can't wait to get out there and come watch you play this spring.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.